Joining us right now, I'm really excited about this, Bodo Hoenen. Hello, Bodo. Good to talk to you.
Hi there.
Where are you calling from?
From Long Island, New York.
Long Island, but it doesn't sound like you have the Long Island accent there.
No, not at all. I was born and raised in Southern Africa, but left home when I was 18 and then moved to Europe and all of the Caribbean for a while and then moved over here.
You sound like our producer, Jerry Wagley, who's been all over the world. Anyway, it's great to have you on. I love this story.
Yeah.
So how old is Lorelei, your daughter?
Lorelei's turned 6, so she's
a little girl. Oh.
Yeah, she's just a little girl.
Sweetie. And she got an illness that paralyzed her arm.
Yeah, it happened really suddenly. So she got sick a week before this all happened, and her sickness had gone away. And then the morning when this all happened, she complained that she can't move her arm. And we didn't think much of it. We thought maybe she fell and she bruised it. But by the end of the morning, her arm was completely paralyzed, and her legs were starting to be paralyzed. She struggled to breathe. She wasn't speaking properly. So my wife rushed her to the hospital. I was away on business at the time, but my wife rushed her to hospital. And by the time she got in hospital, so this was just in a matter of a couple of hours, she had lost the use of her arm. Her breathing was really, really faint. Her voice was really faint. The left side of her face was paralyzed. And the doctors didn't know what was happening and what was wrong with her. Turned out she had acute flaccid myelitis, which is a very rare condition. It's a polio-like syndrome. About 100 or so kids have had it here in the U.S. so far. And so none of the doctors actually knew what was happening.
Holy cow.
But it was, so we went straight to the PICU, ICU, and that's when it all started.
So the good news is with physical therapy, can she recover the use of her arm?
Well, and that was really the start of it. So I'd quickly flown back and speaking to the doctors and the specialists. They told us about this rare condition and told us that the only real form of treatment would be physiotherapy. So that night I spent the evening Googling all I could about this disease, this illness, and I managed to get hold of some specialists that had treated this condition out in California, and I also managed to get hold of a couple of parents that had children with the same condition, and reading up what they were telling about these kids, there was only about a 5% chance that these kids would have a full recovery. So yes, physiotherapy would help, but there would only be a 5% chance of a full recovery. So it wasn't good odds.
So you decided to take matters into your own hands.
Yeah.
But you have no robotics experience.
No, absolutely no robotics experience, but listen to podcasts and shows like this. So I knew what was able to be done. I just had no clue how to do it.
So where did you start? How did you start down this path of self-education and building technology for your daughter?
We just boiled down the problem. So we knew her shoulder was extremely weak. It couldn't carry any weight. Even the weight of her own arm would slowly pull it out of the socket. So my wife made a shoulder brace, a shoulder sleeve, and then we also used kinesio tape, and we taped the shoulder. And with the shoulder brace and the kinesio tape, we could keep the shoulder or the arm from pulling out of the socket. And we looked at that we could put about 150 grams of additional weight on the arm without there being any risk of it pulling out. So that was our target weight goal. Was we wanted to build something that was no more than 150 grams, and therefore wouldn't pull out her arm. We then measured her forearm. The weight was about 400 grams, so we knew that whatever we built would need to be able to pick 400 grams up and down several times an hour for at least 5 hours, because we wanted this whole device to be mobile as well. And then I guess one of the key points here was, and this was something that I had researched. Here's my daughter. She wants to say hi.
Hi, Lorelei, you sweetie. Oh, hi, Lorelei.
Hello.
Oh, you are the sweetest. Frank, I'm sorry. Bodo, I can see why you would be so motivated. This is a father's love.
Yeah.
Boy. Oh,
Yeah,
she wants to hear some more. Can you show us your arm, Lorelei? Does she have the robot on right now?
No, she doesn't, but we've got it here.
Oh, look at that.
We got the sleeve here. So this is the sleeve, and she puts it on her arm, and then she can control it using muscle sensors, and it can pull her arm up and down.
Wait a minute. You had never done this before, and you created this? Look at this.
Yeah.
So she controls this with her mind?
Well, she controls it with her mind, using the signals going down to her muscles. And that was one of the key goals, because we wanted to increase the chances of rehabilitation to take place. And the only way to do that, and we researched this while in hospital, we saw that there were these trials going on where paraplegic individuals were given these exoskeleton suits and virtual reality, and they were over a course of several months, they were able to start to use their own muscles.
So that's the key, right? Is to do it the way you would do it normally, to keep those nerves working and the mind connection working. You don't want to take over for her. You want to help her learn and get better at it.
So that looked like a 3D printed device. Is that what you ended up doing? Is 3D printing the shell there? Yeah,
we ended up 3D printing.
Cool.
And this was a challenge, because we first tried to 3D print it to fit perfectly, to fit her arm perfectly, but then we battled to put it on her arm. So we ended up printing it flat using PLA plastic, and then I made a cast of her arm, and then we would put the plastic in boiling water and then mold it around the cast. There we go. And so that really worked really, really well, and it allows us to quickly tweak the fit. I can just take a hairdryer and heat it up a bit, or heat the joint up and tweak it a little if it gets too tight. And so that approach actually worked really, really well.
Now, in order to do this, obviously you had to enlist the help of some experts. How did you go about doing that?
Hundreds of experts. So
that's so great.
Again, we didn't know what we were doing. So we knew we needed X, Y, and Z, and we created a video, and we shared this video with folks on Twitter and Facebook, and we started a Facebook page, and we had a whole number of questions and things we needed to figure out. And we just posted this online and asked people for advice. And literally within moments, people started to respond and help us. And people we had never met before started to help us. There's a good friend of ours now, Jose. He's from Mexico, and he's been helping us a great deal. He first taught us how to program the Arduino and wire up the Arduino. And we had initially built this separate ARM rig so that we can test everything on the ARM rig. And he helped us wire things up and program things up. But then we got help from Columbia University, helped us with the 3D design. Actuonics donated some of the actuators to us. The folks from various friends had donated things like the Xbox Connect that we used as a 3D scanner, so that we could scan the measurements of our arm in 3D. But we got help from all over. That was great.
This is amazing. The Facebook page is facebook.com/ourkidscandoanything. And it's a wonderful page. What do you do for a living, Bodo?
I run a nonprofit that works to empower children to reach for their dreams.
Nice.
Well, especially children that have absolutely nothing. So children in refugee camps, conflict zones, disaster areas.
Is that something you were doing before Lorelai's illness?
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't have any technical background, but obviously you have a background organizing. You have a little bit of a technical background.
Yeah, I do, and I was a programmer about 10 years ago.
Good.
But I had.
You gave it up for honest work. Now, so you've been using this. The Arduino controls it. Her nerve impulses control it. And what kind of, does she do exercises? What does she do with it?
Well, the idea was that she would use it for anything. So it's a totally mobile unit. She can take it to school. She can go to the playground. She can do everything with it. And it would simply just assist her to move her arm up and down. And it uses her existing muscle signals. But I guess that was one of the biggest challenges because the muscle signal going to her bicep and tricep was extremely, extremely weak.
Right.
And it was so weak that we would pick up her heart beating as opposed to her muscle, or we would pick up some random electrical signal coming from the microwave or the light, or the computer or whatever was close to her, the air conditioner. And so
wow,
that was a big challenge for us, and that it took us quite a while to work out that problem, and we managed to sort it out by using machine learning. So instead of just using a singular electrode to look out for a signal from the arm, and then this singular electrode would normalize the signal and it would filter out the noise. But whenever you filter out the signal, you use a lot of information. And somewhere within that noise was this signal that we had to find. So instead of just using the one, we used several all around the arm. And we fed all of this raw data into a unit that a company called Coapt helped us with. And with this unit here, you can see on the screen. So you see these 18 electrodes on her arm, and she's moving her. She's sending signals to her arm, and the unit is able to pick that up and move this virtual arm. And so, on the screen you can see how it works.
This is remarkable.
So what kind of progress have you seen? Have you seen progress in her arm strength?
Yeah, and this is the best Christmas present ever. So beginning of December, Lorelai comes up to my wife and I, and she says, "Hey, look what I can do!" And she pulls up her arm all the way up and down without the assistive arm. And
oh my God!
Immediately, my wife and I we started crying.
Yes.
And we absolutely.
You're making me cry.
It was amazing, and since that moment, she's really progressing by leaps and bounds, and now. To the stage where she no longer needs the arm brace. So she's getting physiotherapy at school, and the doctors and everyone's amazed at her progress, and so are we, and we're thrilled. So I guess now what we're doing is during this process, we met a lot of other kids that could use something like this, and so we're reaching out with them, and we're trying to help them to see if they could see the same progress and. Yeah.
Bodo, what an inspiring story. And that just shows you how a father's love, and I'm sure mother's love as well, can make such a difference. And then pulling a community together, and how tech can really be a positive force. I mean, in every respect, this is such an inspiring and heartwarming story.
Well, and to know, just as you sought out people when you got her diagnosis, that I'd imagine it's already happened, but people will look for their diagnosis, and they'll discover you and what you've built now.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/OurKidsCanDoAnything. And I presume you're going to continue to update us on Lorelai's progress. And now I think the progress of this incredible venture and how you're helping kids in other ways. This is so great. Bodo, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Absolutely.
Really inspiring. Thanks, Lorelai. See you later.
Lorelai, They want to say bye. Okay, she's out playing.
She's gone.
You could see why you were inspired. And you know, I know when a child is ill, and you know, I'm a father. When a child is ill, there's nothing worse. And to be able to take action, to do something, to get all this support, and then to have it make a difference. Wow. I mean, congratulations. Hi. Nice to see you. Bye, Lorelei, you darling. Oh my goodness, is she sweet? Thank you, Lorelei.
Just a very quick thing. She wanted to show you. So instead of working on her arm, she asked me, can we build a suit to help her fly? So she wants to fly around.
It's a Barbie drone. Yes, Lorelei. You know what? You can do anything now.
So this is a Barbie drone. This is the first prototype, and we said, I'll think about building a life-size one for her.
What a doll.
Well, to be fair, you did say our kids can do anything, and flying counts as
You set that
something,
up, Bodo.
so,
You set it up. Thank you, Bodo Hoenen. Really appreciate it, and congratulations to you and Lorelei. Facebook.com/OurKidsCanDoAnything. Thank you, Bodo. Bye, Lorelei, you darling. See you later. Bye. Oh, I'm going to cry.
Oh, my God. That was amazing. Amazing.